What up, YouTube? T-Movies here with that horrible new film, Arctic Dogs, now in theaters. Since it is an anime film about talking dogs, I decided to go ahead and do my top 10 favorite animated talking dog movies. Now, granted, I'm not gonna do like movies that just happen to have talking animals in them, or I should say talking dogs in them. So you're not gonna see like up in this list, or it's supposed to only be movies that pretty much centers around dogs. So yeah, you're not gonna see see you're not gonna see the dog from Up in this list, or maybe Max from the recent Grinch movie. You're not gonna see that in this list. These are just mostly movies that about dogs. So yeah, I mean, anyway, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite animated talking dogs movie. And granted, this is not CGI stuff, so I'm not gonna add live action. Like, I'm probably gonna do live action talking dogs movies down the line. But anyway, with that being said, here's my 10 favorite animated talking dog movies. All right, coming in at number 10. Anyway, coming in at number 10, it is the DreamWorks animated feature, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. Now, this is of course about this talking canine voiced by Ty Burrell, who's like this most accomplished canine in the world, and like his boy Sherman, voiced by this actor named Max Charles, ends up using a time machine called the Wabach to like embark on outrageous adventures. And so, like, Sherman, of course, takes the Wabach without permission to impress, like, his friend Penny, voiced by Ari Winters, like, a Modern Family. And so, like, Dan pretty much accidentally rips, like, a hole in the universe that causes, like, havoc within the world history. So, Mr. Peabody and Sherman both had to, like, really go travel to time to, prevent, to pretty much, to restore the past, present, and future. It's kind of like a film version of every time when Brian Stewie does the time travel stuff. It's kind of similar to that in a way, and it is based on like on a classic cartoon series and all. I kind of got a kick out of Mr. Peabody and Sherman. It is very underrated. I mean, this movie got released in I don't remember when they get. I think it got released in 2014, and it's literally an anime film that people still doesn't talk about. I mean, it's really good. The time travel stuff is pretty good. Good. Um, Sherman is a really hilarious, intelligent dog. Like he is a bit like I guess you could say Brian, but mixed with Stewie in a way. And also, it has another impressive voice cast. You got Stephen Colbert, you've got Allison Jennings, Leslie Mann, Patrick Warburton, Dennis Haysbert. Really great cast. Really funny, cute, charming. I'm still disappointed we never got to see a sequel because I'll love to hang out with these characters again. But if you guys never really seen Mr. Peabody and Sherman yet, give it a go. It's a really fun flick. Alright. Coming in at number 9, it is Secret Life of Pets. Now, I'm going to go with the sequel, not sequel, the first film I meant to say. The sequel actually was pretty good, with Patton Oswalt and all that. But the original is really great. It's pretty much like what, dogs, like, it's pretty much an anime film about, that showcases what dogs do when, like, they're, humans, is, like, out of town and stuff like that. This doesn't only feature just dogs, it also features other animals, like a bunny voiced by, Kevin Hart, a cat, a couple of other pets here are featured in this, and great voice cast. Like you got Louis C.K. who voices the lead role of Max. Other voices you got in this, you got Kevin Hart who voices Snowball, the bunny. You got some really great voice casts. It's really cute, entertaining. I mean, it's like a Toy Story with pets, if you want to look at it that way. It's a really good one. It is from the Despicable Me creator, Illumination, so there's that as well. I mean, yeah, if you guys never seen the original Secret Life of Pets, give it a go, and go check out the sequel. The sequel is not all that bad either. Alright, coming in at number 8, it is The Fox and the Hound. Now, this is where, where like this fox named Todd the Fox, who ends up pretty much being taken by a kindly a widow named Chwet, voiced by Jeanette Nolan, and so of course Todd the Fox's mother ends up getting killed. So like yeah, so Todd ends up being friends with the neighborhood's new hound dog named Cooper, voiced by Kurt Russell, and they pretty much share like a really nice friendship, and of course there's stuff like they end up pretty much being hampered by their like master, and by the fact they're also by nature, and they're even enemies, and they end up like growing apart and all. And the Fox and the Hound is it's a classic Disney film. I mean, you got two like interesting dogs, bonding with one another. Granted, a fox is not technically a dog, but they're kind of in the dog family, so yeah. But so Fox and the Hound, it's a classic one. Great voices. Like you also got Corey Feldman is in this. Uh, Grandpa Joe himself, Jack Albertson is in this. Some really great voice cast. Classic animation. I mean, this is literally one Disney film that people barely talk about. I mean, when you think of Disney animated stuff, from the golden ages, you think of maybe Snow White or Cinderella or anything, but no one barely talks about Fox and the Hound. Like, such a really underrated anime gem. And they also did like a Hoshi V or sequel too, but the original is much better. Alright. Coming in at I'll just talk loud. Coming in at number 7, it is the anime film Boat. Now, speaking of Alright, now speaking of underrated animated Disney gems, Boat is a really underrated gem. I mean, it has a really impressive voice cast. That like you got John Travolta, Molly Cyrus is in this. You also got a fun-loving cat named Mins, voiced by Susie Essman. You got a funny hamster named Rhino, and so in it, John Travolta of course plays this canine superstar named Boat, who whose like life is filled with danger and intrigue, but until like the camera, like of course until the camera starts stop rolling and all. But Boat ends up doesn't knowing that like he's on a TV show, and he also thinks that his amazing powers are also real. So like Boat is also and accidentally end up being shipped from his Hollywood soundstage to the main streets, and so he pretty much is trying to set out to find his owner named Penny, voiced by Miley Cyrus. And Boat is such a really underrated Disney film. I mean, this is seriously a Disney film that no one really barely talks about, but it's really cute. I mean, it's funny, entertaining. It had a really great song that featured duet by John Travolta and Miley Cyrus. That was kind of a odd duet, like an odd pairing, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, when you think of interesting pairings, John Travolta and Miley Cyrus, that's kind of an odd pairing, to say. But still, Boat is really amazing. I mean, it's a shame that Disney never went ahead and did a sequel, because I would love to see another Boat. But it did actually get a nomination for Best Original Song and Best Animated Feature. But obviously, for the animated feature, it lost out to War-E, and for Best Original Song, it ended up losing to the song from Slumdog Millionaire. But still, Boat is a really good film. I mean, great effects and all, great great voice performances by Travolta and Cyrus and all. I mean, really awesome film. All right. Coming in at number 6, it is another underrated Disney film, and that will be Oliver and Company. Boy, lots of underrated Disney gems. Like, one of these days, I'm literally gonna do my top 10 like most underrated Disney gems. Like, there's so many great Disney like underrated Disney gems out there. But anyway, of course, Oliver and Company is like an animated, updated version of the classic of Oliver Twist Tale. And you got Oliver, voiced by Joey Lawrence, who's like this orphan kid who ends up being taken by these thieving dogs, and who's of course led by this caliber canine named Dodger, voiced by singer Billy Joe, as well as its own by down and out pickpocket faggot named voiced by Dom DeLuise, and of course while like trying to help pull the job in the street of New York City, Oliver ends up winding up being adopted by this like rich girl named Jane, voiced by Natalie Gregory. And so, like, of course, the loan sharks pretty much during the peaceful new arrangements and all. So it's really like a French, like, I guess it's more like it's more about a cat more than a dog. But the dogs actually play bigger parts in this film than you expect. But Oliver and Company it's a real classic right there. I mean, great voices. Like, who doesn't love Dom DeLuise? I mean, come on, you got Billy Joe in this. It's a really classic one. Like I say, it is another underrated gem. A really great updated version of a classic Charles Dickens tale. I mean, really good film. If you guys ever seen Oliver and Company, go check that one out. Alright. Coming in at number 5, it is Balto. Now this is actually a anime feature that's based on a true story about the anyway. It's of course about Balto, voiced wonderfully by Kevin Bacon, who's like this half wolf dog who's like ignored by all, except a goose named Boris, voiced by Bob Hoskins, as well as these two polar bears, and it's of course choosing to run but it's like disqualified by by the sled dog stealing, voiced by Winnie the Pooh himself, Jim Cummings, and so it's like kind of really like a anyways, of course, like a really fun, a sled-based film. It is actually based on a true story, which is pretty interesting. Great animation. Like I can't remember if this is from Disney or not. I gotta double check. But I mean, it's been a while since I've seen Balto. But I really got like it's a really good Disney it's a really good anime film. Great like Kevin Bacon was great in this. Cool animation. And they also did a sequel called Balto 2, which, like most home to video sequels, it's not that good. But the first Balto is really great. If you guys haven't seen it, give it a go. And I gotta rewatch that movie again. It's been like ages since I've seen that. Alright. Okay, now my number 4 favorite. I was a little skeptical to really, consider this. Like, I'm so always like wondering to really actually call this character a dog, but technically he is sort of a dog. So yeah, but anyway, number 4, it is another anime like underrated Disney gem, and that is a Goofy movie. I mean, this movie is amazing. I freaking love a Goofy movie. Of course, come on, Goofy is technically a dog, so that does count in this list. But anyway, a Goofy movie is fantastic. I mean, whoever knew that Goofy ended up having a son here? Of course, the son is Max, voiced by Full House alum Jason Marsden. And it's where like Goofy and his son Max goes on like this road trip. She pretty much I'm going no, it's not. She pretty much like get him out of the say after he ends up getting in trouble in high school for like a prank and all. And so not to mention Goofy also is trying to get his son also to impress like Max's crush Roxanne and all. A Goofy movie it's such a classic one. I mean it's also pretty underrated. Not to mention you got Bill Farmer as the voice of Goofy, who doesn't know that one. It's a really great. Now they also did like another Goofy movie, which I'm not really big with the sequel, but the first Goofy movie is great. It's funny, cute, charming. I mean it. Of course, Goofy's been around for like decades and decades, but I think this is probably my favorite thing that Goofy has ever actually been in. And I mean, I actually used to own this on VHS. I don't know whatever happened to that, but anyway, yeah, Goofy movie is seriously great. If you guys never really seen a Goofy movie by now, do yourself a favor, give it a go. It's a really great one. Alright. Coming in at number 3, it is 101 Dalmatians. Not to be confused with the live action one with Glenn Close. Of course, it's the animated one. Of course, you got Cruella de Vil, who pretty much wants to you know, mainly get rid of I guess you could say, I'm trying to say this in a nicer way, but she wants to kill Dalmatians to turn their fur into coats. Yeah, PETA's gonna the animal organization is gonna love Cruella de Vil. But anyway, but I gotta say, 100 I probably prefer the Glenn Close live action one over the anime one, to be honest with you. But the anime one is still a classic Disney gem. I mean, Cruella is one of the coolest, not, I should say coolest, but she is one of the most baddest movie villains there is. I mean, come on, she wants to kill dogs to turn their fur into coats. That that's pretty debacle right there. I mean, that's even true real for a kids film, by the way. But anyway, and of course, people are trying to stop her from doing that stuff like that. I mean, it's like the Disney animation style is great. I mean, this isn't really a Disney anime film that really holds up with me. It's no Lion King, it's no Snow White or Pinocchio or Peter Pan or anything. But it's still really decent one, and I get a kick out watching this whenever I get a chance. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the anime film, but it's a pretty good one. But like I said, I actually still prefer the Glenn Close one though. And of course, the dogs in this talk as well. So, all right. Coming in at number 2, it's also pretty underrated. Although it's not from Disney, I believe it was from Universal, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, number 2, it is All Dogs Go to Heaven. Now they also did a sequel to this, which I'm not really fond of the sequel. But All Dogs Go to Heaven is great. I mean, you got of course the voice cast that includes Burt Reynolds, Vic Tayback, the late Judith Barcy, the late Dom DeLuise is in this. Lonnie Anderson, Charles Nelson Raleigh, some really great voice cast. Directed by probably one of the best animated film directors of all time, Don Bluth. I mean, Don Bluth, he's a man. Land Before Time, All Dogs Will Go to Heaven, or American Style. I mean, Don knows his animated stuff. And All Doors Go Heaven, I mean, it has some great. Anyway, it has some really great music in it. Of course, you got Burt Reynolds as the voice of Charlie, who ends up being killed by this gambler named Carface, but ends up returning to her from heaven to because of course thanks to his powers of a magical wandable watch, Charlie ends up taking out revenge on Carface by means of this elaborate plan that involves this orphan girl named Anne Marie, voiced by Judah Barcy, who's of course best known for voicing Ducky in Land Before Time. Tragically, she passed away at a very young age, and I believe she passed away at the age of 10, if I'm not mistaken. But I think she was a great voice actress. Whether you talk about All Dogs Go to Heaven or Land Before Time, she was great and stuff. Shame that her life was cut very tragically short. But she, I mean, thankfully she had a nice career after George Revenge. That's for damn sure. But anyway, yeah, All Dogs Go to Heaven is such a class one. I mean, yeah, it's come on, the music is great. Burt Reynolds in an animated film, which is pretty cool to hear. Charlie is a really cool anime character, and of course, it's about revenge. I mean, not a revenge that does involve gun toting, of course. But All Dogs Go to Heaven is a great one. If you guys ever seen it, give it a go. Just watch the first one. The sequel, which had Charlie Sheen in it, by the way, it's not that great. Anywho. Alright. Now, my number 1 favorite animated, dog movie of all time. The live action of this premieres next week. Of course, the best animated talking dog movie of all time. obviously goes to Lady and the Tramp. It's definitely one of Disney's like how much? All right, it is one of Disney. Oh, okay, all right. Anyway, it is of course one of Disney's best work. I mean, it's a great romantic film. Come on, you got the spaghetti and meatball scene is iconic. I mean, never try that in real life. It really never works. Of course, it's really of course, the Eva cats are kind of iconic. Maybe I guess a little tad bit racist, but anyway, yeah, Land Trap is one of the most. It's a great family film. It's of course Lady and the Tramp, both had like great romantic chemistry with one another. Had some interesting other characters. An interesting villain that was featured in this. Yeah, and I gotta rewatch the original Land Champ, to get ready for the live action one, by the way, because the live action Land Champ premieres on what does it premiere again? Oh yeah, November 12th, same day Disney Plus launches. So I'm pretty sure the original Land Champ is gonna be on Disney Plus. So anyway, yeah, the original Land Champ. If you guys never seen the original, do yourself a favor, give it a go. It's such a great one. I mean, I guess you could say it's like Romeo and Juliet with dogs in a weird way. I don't know if that really makes sense. But it's a really great one. Definitely go check out the original Land Champ. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. 9, The Secret Life of Pets. 8, The Fox and the Hound. 7, Boat. 6, Oliver and Company. 5, Balto. 4, A Goofy Movie. 3, 101 Dalmatians. 2, All Dogs Go to Heaven. And 1, Lay and Trap. Now, there's lots of other ones I probably could have added. There's lots of animated Scooby-Doo movies I probably could have added in that list. Of course, there's Snoopy Comes Home. I mean, come on, Snoopy is a dog. Guess you could count Clifford the Big Red movie. I mean, the live action one that comes out next week, next year, by the way. Just show that out. What else? There's lots of other interesting ones. But let me leave it to you guys. What are some of your favorite animated talking dog movies of all time? Drop a comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is C Movie signing off.